What's up guys, it's Tommy here and today we will look at a player that potentially Liverpool will sign in the January transfer window because it has been confirmed that Cesar Huerta, the Mexican winger, was on his way to Liverpool, but a move fell through last minute because we wanted to loan him out to Sunderland and in the end Sunderland pulled out of the loan. So in the end Liverpool decided not to sign him and we went for Federico Chiesa instead, who of course is a much better player, but we are still interested in this player and we could go back in for him in the January transfer window. His market value is only 4 or 5 million pounds, so he could be an absolute bargain, and we will take a detailed look at why he could be an absolute bargain at 23 years old, because he's a very exciting electric winger who can score goals, get assists, and he has been tearing it up in the Mexican league. So guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to leave a like, and I'm wearing my England home shirt in honor of Trent Alexander-Arnold putting in back-to-back man of the match performances for England, and I'm so happy that finally Gareth Southgate is gone and Trent is starting for England. That will increase his workload and his minutes, but finally the whole of England can see what an awesome player and the whole world can see what an awesome player Trent Alexander-Arnold is for Liverpool, but he can showcase his talents for England as well. So the Pumas Unam winger Cesar Huerta is a 23-year-old very exciting electric Mexican player. He's a Mexican international as well, so he's already an international experienced footballer. He already played 11 times for the Mexican national team, scoring 2 goals, and it has been confirmed publicly that he was on his way to Liverpool. He already had his suitcase ready and packed, and then he dropped it, and I know that sooner or later, if I keep doing things right, I will get the opportunity again. That train will hopefully come again for Cesar Huerta. So Liverpool could go back in for him in the January transfer window. He basically hinted that. The president of Pumas also confirmed that the deal with Liverpool FC was in place, but reports claim that Liverpool wanted to loan Huerta out immediately for 1 season to Sunderland, who they later turned down the move due to loan terms. We don't know exactly the parameters or the exact details, but Anfield Watch, another news outlet, is reporting that Cesar Huerta revealed just how close he came to joining Liverpool before the deal fell through. And imagine how heartbreaking it must have been. You are playing in the Mexican league, you are dreaming of going to Europe. I'm sure that Jose Huerta wasn't dreaming of going to Liverpool of all clubs. He just wanted to go to Europe to earn more money, to showcase his talents in European football, and sooner or later you get picked up by a big club. It's very rare that a player goes straight from the Mexican league to a European top team. And according to Mexican broadcaster Tudon, Huerta was very close to sealing a permanent move to Liverpool, which would have involved an initial loan to Championship side Sunderland before joining up with Liverpool next summer. Huerta already had his bags packed, and there was an issue, Huerta told Spanish outlet AS, following Mexico's 0-0 draw with Canada. And the transfer reportedly collapsed after Sunderland manager Regis Lebris vetoed the move. He didn't fancy Huerta, leaving Huerta to remain at Pumas. I know that sooner or later, if I keep doing things right, I will get the opportunity. I know it's a train that only comes once, and I'm focused on Pumas right now. And Pumas Unam's president, Luis Raul Gonzalez Perez, also addressed the situation, clarifying why the deal didn't happen. It had nothing to do with the club or Huerta's intentions. On the contrary, Liverpool recognized and appreciated Huerta's qualities. External circumstances from the teams involved meant the deal couldn't materialize. It was not due to Huerta's quality, but because of other factors. What I don't understand is, if Sunderland pulled out of the loan deal, why didn't Liverpool just sign Huerta and try to loan him out to a different club in the Championship? Because there are a few, like 7 or 8 Championship clubs who play really good, nice football, and where Huerta could have developed. Or maybe we could have even tried to loan him out to a lower Premier League team, somebody like Ipswich Town, to get him Premier League experience. Maybe Liverpool thought, we signed Huerta and he could be a big talent for the future. But maybe after Sunderland pulled out of this, loan deal, that's when Federico Chiesa came up. And then Liverpool thought, if Chiesa is available for 10 million, why sign Cesar Huerta for 5 million if we could get a world-class winger like Chiesa for 10 million, who is still only 27 years old. So Huerta is only 23 years old. He's on a 171 centimeters tall. His main position is left winger, but he can play center forward and right winger as well. So he's very versatile. He can play across the front three. And this is one for the future. Gakpo is 25 years old. Luis Diaz is 27 years old. So we don't really need a left winger right now. But if Salah leaves maybe as a free transfer, then we could play Chiesa as our first choice right winger and Huerta as our second choice right winger from next season. That's in theory. His contract actually expires next summer, so maybe Liverpool will go back in January and sign him on a pre-contract agreement, because I'm sure that if Huerta caught the eye of Liverpool, he will catch the eye of a lot of other clubs. And look at how many different positions he played in his career. Right back, center midfield, attacking midfield, right midfield, left midfield, center forward, right wing, and his main position, left wing. The bigger the circle, the more games Huerta played in this position. You can see on the right hand side of this image, and you can see his whole career broken down into numbers. So he played 188 games already in a senior professional football, scoring 38 goals and getting 15 assists. So he's not like a Mo Salah level goal scorer, definitely not, but he's a very fiery character, evidenced by getting 50 yellow cards. That caught my eye. So he's getting 1 yellow card every 4 games, or maybe even more often. He gets 2 second yellows and 2 red cards as well in his career. And he scored in the Apertura, which is like the first half of the Mexican League season, 14 goals and 5 assists in 67 games. And then in the Clausura, in the second half of the league season, he scores 3 goals and 7 assists in 50 games. So as I said, those are not like crazy prolific numbers, but that's why his market value is only 5 million euros. And I actually wanted to give you guys a detailed scout report of Cesar Huerta. And I will educate myself as well in this video, because I wanted to see what exactly Liverpool saw in this Mexican winger playing in the Mexican League and why we almost agreed a deal for him. So in terms of total shots, assists, expected assisted goals, non-penalty XG and non-penalty expected assisted goals, and shot creating actions, he's very, very high up there, as you can see. His goal scoring 0.2 per 90 minutes is not great. His XG is almost identical, and he also attempts very few passes. He usually carries the ball a lot. He doesn't pass the ball a lot. Usually he gets the ball on the wing and runs forward, evidenced by progressive carries, 5.7 per 90 minutes. That's in the top 3% compared to wingers in the other 14 men's competitions over the last 1 year. Successful take-ons, 2.75. This is where he really excels. And he also has a lot of touches in the opposition penalty area. That's where he really comes alive. 5.8 touches in the opposition penalty area in 90 minutes. Those are really, really good numbers. Top 9% among wingers. Interestingly, in terms of tackles, he tackles a lot. That's why he probably gets a lot of yellow cards. 2.3 tackles, which is in the top 4% when it comes to wingers. So he's a very fiery character, very passionate, as you expect from a Mexican player, and he has an average build, so he's not particularly strong, but he's not really weak either. And he displays decent strength in duels with his back towards the goal and in shoulder-to-shoulder duels. He has a decent burst of speed, but sometimes he fails to create separation as his opponent can catch up to him. He has good speed without the ball, Huerta changes directions rather quickly, weaving in and out of defenders. The winger struggles to win aerial duels due to his lack of height and jumping reach. He has good stamina, he presses the opponent aggressively, he's not very effective in defensive one-on-ones. Huerta sometimes fails to cover runs from the opponent's right back, so that's one of his weaknesses, but he's only 23 years old, so he can certainly work on his defensive game, which is his biggest weakness, I would say, judging by this scout report. He has a good touch under pressure and he likes to take on his opponents, but he has mixed results. His good coast control and technique combined with his good changes of directions helps him to dribble past his opponent, but he misses the explosiveness to create separation in some duels. Huerta sometimes fails to dribble past his opponent, especially in transition. He can be a bit wasteful on the ball. He maintains his composure while dribbling and does well to often spot his teammates in space. Huerta carries the ball well and he can dribble past his opponent on both inside and outside, but he can turn away from his opponent after leaning into him as well. He can also create chances through passes, but he also has his in-swinging crosses from deeper areas on the left wing. His crossing technique is very good, his delivery is consistent, his final ball under no pressure is very good, his crossing with his left foot from the byline is quite inconsistent though, and his passing under pressure is very clean, as he does not make many mistakes on the ball with his passing. His long range passing technique is good, being capable of switching play, although he can be slightly inconsistent with his long passing. He can combine with his teammates in tight spaces. Huerta's ball striking from distance is good, but his ball striking after cutting inside to his stronger foot is average. Huerta should work on this to become more effective in front of goal. He can certainly and should increase his number of goals if he wants to be a regular at Liverpool, because 0.2 goals per 90 minutes in the Mexican league, which is not really the strongest league, not even in South America, he should increase that. And time is running out for him because he's 23 years old, so he needs to increase these numbers if he really wants to make it at the top level. The Mexican winger is an interesting player to watch with his high volume dribbling. I think that's what caught the eye of Liverpool, because he's fearless. He gets the ball and he runs at people, he dribbles past people, and he just keeps doing it throughout the 90 minutes, and that's very, very exciting to watch. He's quite inconsistent with his dribbles, as he's not very explosive, so he doesn't have that explosive pace that Salah or Luis Diaz has, or even Darwin Núñez has. His technique makes up for this to a certain extent, but I don't think his skill set translates to the top 5 leagues. His final ball, especially his shots from close range, sporadically lacks quality. He has proven to be a consistent chance creator with his through passes and crosses. Huerta spots his teammates in space when dribbling, which is a big plus. I think he could be a decent competitor at Ajax because he was linked with Ajax as well, but there are probably better options out there, and this is the gist of Cesar Huerta's main qualities. I wanted to give you guys a detailed scout report so you guys can see what Liverpool saw in Cesar Huerta, and now I can see why Liverpool wanted to sign him. But he's of course probably 1 or 2 levels behind the likes of Gakpo, Chiesa, but he's a Mexican international footballer. He's up and coming talent, so in the next 1 or 2 years Liverpool could definitely go for him, because he's a very cheap option, and even as a backup player he would be decent for 4, 5 or 10 million pounds. It's a very low risk transfer because Liverpool can always sell him on, and if he just has a few good experiences and appearances for Liverpool could easily sell him for 10 million if it doesn't work out. But the upside is huge, because Liverpool signed Fabio Carvalho for 7 million. We loaned him out a few times, and then Liverpool sold him for 25 million in the end. So we could do something similar with Huerta if he doesn't become good enough to challenge Mo Salah and Chiesa for that right wing spot, or if he doesn't become good enough for Luis Diaz to challenge Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. And remember, Luis Diaz is flirting with Barcelona, with going there in the next couple of years. So we definitely need to keep signing exciting young wingers if we want to, find the next generation of great players. And I also want to look at this report in the BBC, how Arne Slot's football varies from Jurgen Klopp's rock and roll playing style. Chris Sutton said on BBC, all the Liverpool talk in the summer transfer window was about getting a defensive midfielder in, but in the opening games, all of the players who have been put there have been so intelligent. They have shown that the number 6 position will not be too much of a problem because they have talent that is adaptable. Jota so far started up front, but Liverpool will see a lot more rotation now that we will play 2 games every week. The main difference is 2 more defensive midfielders. Gravenberch and McAllister has played in the double pivot and Dominic Szoboszlai playing further forward. The only real change Arne Slot has made between games was subbing off Kwanzaa for Konate against Ipswich in the first game, but other than that Liverpool had a settled team. Now we will see a lot more rotation, and here you can see the open play touches during Jurgen Klopp's system. So you can see on the right hand side it's the attack, on the left hand side it's the defense, and Liverpool had a pretty even distribution. And what is really significant is Liverpool have a lot more open play touches in the goalkeeper area and in the defensive area. We like to keep the ball a lot more, and Liverpool have more touches in the opposition box in the middle than under Jurgen Klopp. And Liverpool had a noticeably more patient build-up this season under Arne Slot. Of course, the sample size is very small, only 3 games, so we should be cautious with these numbers. More of Liverpool's touches have come in their own penalty area, 11% compared to 6% last season, so that's almost double of what it was last season. The number of touches in the opposition penalty area is slightly higher too, which I really like. Jurgen Klopp's side had the edge per game on possession, 61% compared to Arne Slot's 57%. Liverpool had more shots under Jurgen Klopp, more passes forward, and more direct attacks, but Liverpool also had higher turnover under Jurgen Klopp than under Arne Slot. Arne Slot's side have slightly better passing accuracy, 88%, and faced fewer shots. I think that's a big difference. Jurgen Klopp faced 11 shots on average, now that's down to 8. Hopefully Liverpool can keep dominating games, and goals scored are the same between both managers, 2.3 per game, which is very, very interesting because Arne Slot only had 3 games so far. Last season Liverpool conceded 41 goals in the Premier League alone, which was too many. I think we can safely agree with that. Liverpool should get between 25 and 30. That would be a very, very good defensively solid season, and you can actually win a league title by preventing a lot of goals against you. So I really, really like that Liverpool started the season with 3 clean sheets. Here's what the observers said about Arne Slot's team. The main difference appears to be Liverpool's defensive solidity. Jurgen Klopp's teams had no problem scoring goals, winning games, but they had a tendency to concede too, and we conceded first in so many games last season, like almost 25 or something similar to that. This season the team are making sure they have players back in numbers if they lose possession. If they lose possession, they are not caught in transition. Liverpool still press, but maybe it's a slightly more controlled, more cautious approach. Arne Slot is doing it his way without trying to be a Jurgen Klopp. He also has an air of authority. It is very much business as usual. There are differences. Liverpool look a bit more controlled under Arne Slot as opposed to the thrilling but occasionally chaotic approach under Jurgen Klopp. But that did bring great success. So let's see what the future holds for Liverpool. I'm really looking forward to Saturday's game. Finally, the Premier League is back. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.